Alright, Minecrafters. Minecraft Bob Ross here. I want to go over something very basic but very important in Minecraft, and that is how to not get lost. This is all about prevention. If you're already lost and you can't find your way back to your base, you might be able to get lucky and find your way back, and there are some tricks for doing that perhaps. But today what we really want to talk about is how to prevent that from happening in the first place. The first thing you need to know is how to use and how to access the debug screen, which has your coordinates for your location. And you do that by hitting the F3 key up towards the top of your keyboard. Of course, this is for PC or Java edition Minecraft. If you're playing on a console, of course, it's different, but I'm going to hit F3. And that brings up this wonderfully complex screen, which looks kind of technical and boring, but actually has a lot of useful items in it. Perhaps the most important of which are your coordinates. I'm going to actually hit my escape key to sort of have control of my mouse to direct you towards the lines right here. X, Y, Z. Those are my coordinates. X is your east-west coordinate, right? Y is up and down. That's your height. And a Z, of course, by process of elimination, is north-south. The most important is X and Z. Y can be important if you're in a cave or a mine, but if you're just traveling in the overworld and you need to know how to get back to your base, it's mostly the X and Z coordinates you're trying to affect. So what I want to do is stand near the middle of my base, probably in a place where I don't do a lot of building, just in case I decide to teleport back to here. Although personally, I don't teleport when I'm playing Minecraft in survival vanilla. I like to make myself do everything the hard way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down those numbers. If you look at the row, either one of them could work, but the easiest is just the one with the whole numbers right there called block. And it says 195, 77, negative 192, right there, block. I'm going to write those down. I'm going to write those down in real life. I'm going to get a notebook or an index card or a Rolodex. I'm going to write those down. I might also open up like a WordPad file or a Word file on my computer and write those down and label it. See, home base coordinates and put 195, 77, 190, negative 192. That's important. Pay attention to the negatives. Many a person has gotten confused and lost because they didn't see the negative. So it's just like a number line. There's negative numbers, there's zero, and then there's positive numbers, right? You want to pay attention to that. And once we have that, then we're all set. You can travel wherever you want in the world. So let's say we've got that, and we're far away. Let's pretend. And I want to get back to those coordinates. All I have to do is sort of get myself turned around. Let's say that I'm here. Let's say I can't see my base. Let's just pretend. But I know that I'm at 157. And I figure out that if I run this way, I'm making that number go up. And as you can see, if you look underneath where this is facing, parenthetically you see towards positive X. That tells me the same thing, that when I'm facing this way and I run this way, I'm making X go up. Of course, if I go perpendicular to that, now I'm affecting Z. If I want to affect Y, I jump. Right? Or I go down some stairs. But again, X and Z is what's important, right? And I just figure that out. I work my way back to base. And yes, when you run diagonally, you're affecting both at the same time. Right? So that is how that works. You'll get better at using your coordinate system. The only thing to pay attention to is that if you have all this stuff up on your screen with the debug screen and you're following your coordinates, it may be hard to avoid obstacles, or you might fall in a canyon because you're not paying attention. Kind of like texting while driving, right? Except this one's not going to get you put in jail or hopefully not kill anybody. Yeah, so just make sure to pay attention. What I personally do is, let's say I'm thousands of blocks away from my base. I'll figure out my direction that I need to go using the coordinates. Then I just drop the F3 key and I just run in that direction for a few thousand blocks. And then I hit the coordinate screen again, as I call it, and I just double check and see where I'm at. And I just do that occasionally as I keep running, and eventually, of course, you will make it back to base. It's math and it works. Another thing that's important, and I'm just going to talk you through this one, although I'll give you a visual effect, is that you sleep in your bed. You probably know how to do that already to pass the night, but what people often don't realize is that sleeping in a bed also makes a save point for you. So this is the last bed, for example, this little cyan bed that I slept in. What that means is that if I die when I'm traveling or doing whatever, I will respawn right here at this bed, so long as the bed is reachable, and this one is. Here's the mistake people make. I might take this bed and maybe destroy it. I'm going to make the mistake that I'm telling you not to make right now. I'm also not worried about dying. And I could even put it back in the same spot. But a lot of times people will destroy a bed maybe because they want to move it to a different spot. Now, even though that is the same bed, that save point is now destroyed. So I have to sleep in another bed or sleep again in this bed that I'm placing in to recreate that save point. Now, what happens if you've destroyed a bed, your last bed you slept in, and you don't have a save point? Well, in that case, you spawn back at world spawn. Basically, the original place that the first person to log into this Minecraft world and create it would have appeared. Oh, and by the way, while we're on the topic, that place for me in this world is right over there. I built an iron grinder / village over there. We'll get to that later. Right in the center of that area is where that's at. Now, I built my base near world spawn on purpose. That way, if I die without a bed, I still appear at base. There are other benefits as well to doing that. But if you're playing on a large multi-person server, you probably don't have that opportunity. You might be thousands of blocks away from world spawn. So it's getting to be night again. I'm going to sleep and recreate that save point. So if that's the case and you're thousands of blocks from your world spawn, you want to make sure that you keep that bed that you slept in. There are mods that are very useful. Lots of mods that do this actually, that'll let you create a custom home coordinate or custom home space. So even if you don't have a bed or whatever, you always have that space where you respawn. That's useful. Anyway, if you're just playing vanilla Minecraft, and I think that's the best Minecraft to play if you're playing survival, that's how you do it. Another thing that is easy to miss, and I just taught my 6-year-old son, who's just learning Minecraft now, I just taught him how to do this, and he thought it was the coolest thing. It's actually nothing special. I'm just going to build one out of dirt, because it's actually easiest to build it out of dirt. What we're going to do is, you can build it out of anything there. I'm basically just going to build up by jumping and placing under me. Now, as you can see, I have a lot of tall structures here, so I don't really need this. But if you're just starting out and your base is new, just build a quote-unquote tower of dirt. Yeah, I don't know. Half a stack of dirt will do it, or a stack, whatever. And this way, when you're in the distance, you can see it. Now, what I like to do is I like to stick a torch at the top. Maybe even throw some torches around the side. Getting down is tricky. You want to do that edge building thing where you crouch. Right? It will drop down. Yeah. And if you want to play it safe, there are ways to do this faster. But I'm assuming that if you're watching this video and getting something out of it, you're probably pretty new to Minecraft, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I'm going to show you a safe method for doing this. So I'm crouching, I'm holding down my shift key, so I can't fall off the edge when I crouch, right? I go over that in another video on life hacks for Minecraft. I'm going to work my way back down. You know what I meant to do? Just for the sake of, just because, just for the sake of symmetry. Now here's something cool for me. Just so you viewers know, I actually have feather falling foreboots, so I can actually take that fall, and I'm fine. Anyway, the point is, if there's nothing else in the area, I can see that at a distance. And I think this is often referred to by Minecrafters as a beacon. Although there's an official beacon, which you craft in the game, that actually kind of has the same effect, except with a beam of light. This is what you might just call a homemade beacon or a dirt beacon. That'll help you find your base. If you're not, as you get near your coordinates, you can zoom in on that and get there. Another thing that you'll want to do, and this is good especially, for example, my son is building a house that is a little bit away from our base that we're working from. It's in another location. So let's say that my base is here. It is. And obviously I have a lot of torches out here lighting this up, but let's say that over this hill I have a project that I'm working on. And it's kind of, let's say it's kind of far away, but it's also a path that I traverse a lot because I'm running out there to work on my project. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place torches, I don't know, about every 20, 30 blocks. I'm going to make a path of torches. And you'll alter that sometimes for hills. So if I can't see over and see that torch very clearly, I'll put another one there, and there, and there, and so on. Let's say that tunnel, for example. I'm going to make a path of torches to get to that tunnel. I'm also going to clear grass just out of that path. That makes the path really clear. I know where there are torches and there's no grass. That's my path. Right. This is a nice, simple trick for getting where you want to get to. You can also, as you can see, do this through a cave or a tunnel. So that's a nice helpful trick. Oh, this trick works great in the nether. Okay, now, here's the tricky part. If I get turned around, so I apologize for doing that to you, viewer. And I don't know which way is which, let's pretend. I might not know. I might go the wrong direction. I'll still be on my path, which is good, but I don't know where I'm going. Every now and then, you might do something like this. There are a lot of ways to do this, but take some dirt blocks and sort of make it into like an arrow. Another way to do it is you can put your dirt blocks and put a torch out like that, facing in the direction that you want to go. So I know home is in the opposite direction of the torch. Away from home is in the direction of the torch, or vice versa. Right? You can do that either way. Make your own system, and one that works well for you and makes sense. This one has always made sense for me, so I use it. All you need is dirt and torches to do that, and it's really easy. Of course, you can use signs. You can write directions for yourself on signs. There are plenty of trees. All you need is wood to make a sign. So you can pretty much make a sign on the fly anywhere in the world. So signs can also be, of course, a good way to make signposts for yourself, literally, to find your way home. I want to make one more point here. So you follow those torches home. One more quick point. We're going to have to walk a little ways to get to this one. This has to do with when you're in your mine. I go over this in my videos on mining basics, but it's worth sharing here as well. So we're going to run as fast as we can and jump along the way to make it even faster. We're going to go down here to a mine. My mines are always set up with sort of a central shaft area that I start from. Right now, this is that area. But generally, when you mine, you'll probably be mining, if you're doing it right, in straight lines. You'll figure out where you found your diamond. That's what these little babies actually mark, is where I found diamond. That helps me know, probability-wise, where to find my next diamond. Another point for another day. But notice that when I dig a mine shaft, or whatever you want to call it, I always place my torches to the left when I'm digging in from my main area. So it's always to the left. Now what this does is I know that if my torches are to the left, not only do these light the way, these are also signs for my direction. If I'm running and these are to my left, I know that I'm running away from my base. If I'm running and they are to my right, I know that I'm running towards base. Now here's the thing. It doesn't matter if you place these to the left or to the right. Just be consistent. Have your own system. You could do this to the right, but they would all need to be to the right. And that lets you know your direction. Because eventually, if you keep digging, you might be 300, 400, 2,000 blocks, who knows, in that direction. And then, of course, my mine extends the opposite way as well. Notice, by the way, let's go to the other side here. You might be wondering what all this is about. This is me trying to find spawn points for slimes. Another point for another day. Right here. These now are to my left when I'm facing the opposite direction. So I'm not going to place them on the same side if I'm facing the opposite direction from my central mine shaft area that goes towards my base. When I'm going this way, I still place to whatever my relative left is. So left is going away from base, right is going towards base. So no matter where I'm at, I know where I'm at. I know where base is. I know how to get there. All right. Well, there you go. Those are methods for not getting lost in Minecraft, and those will serve you very well, especially if you're new to Minecraft. If you do these things, you'll always be able to find your way back to base. And yeah, so I hope that this video was helpful. If the video was helpful, or if you just liked it for whatever reason, feel free to subscribe and feel free to keep watching. In the meantime, I am Minecraft Bob Ross. I wish you the best, and I wish you happy Minecrafting.